Yeah. Many people think prehistoric art is just cave paintings, but they are wrong.
Cave paintings were important, but that was not the only art form at the time.
Among other things, sculptures and monuments were common works of art.
Undoubtedly, the most famous of all ancient works of art is Stonehenge.
Stonehenge is located about 2 miles west of the town of Amesbury in southern England. It was built in stages from around 3000 to 2000 BCE.
Just as it was built in stages, many scholars believe that three distinct people worked on the site. First were the Windmill Hill people, who were from England and worked on the site around 3000 BCE. Around 2000 BCE, the Beaker people from the mainland of Europe arrived and succeeded the Windmill Hill people. Finally, around 1500 BCE, the Wessex people began their work on the site.
Originally, the site started out as a ditch. In the second stage of development, the site may have been the first ever crematory cemetery, but there's very little evidence from the stage.
During the third stage of construction, instead of trying to make a wooden structure, the creators of Stonehenge decided to use stone instead. This would be the last main phase of construction, but it would be the most important. All of the stones, which today are the site's most distinguishing feature, were put in this site during this stage.
Since scientists and scholars have studied Stonehenge, many have believed that a supernatural power created the site. This is because the creators of Stonehenge left no written records, and the stones, which not only are very hard to move, also did not originate near the site. Today, scientists believe that shear legs, a Neolithic technology, was used to move the stones.
There are many theories on what Stonehenge was used for and why it was made, ranging from being an observatory to being used for religious purposes.
Recently, the idea that Stonehenge was used as a cemetery and a place to visit dead ancestors has gained a lot of ground. Bodies found at the site originated from places such as Wales, France, Germany, and the Mediterranean. There are also many other graves found in and around the site.
Whatever reason the site was made, its design does happen to include a celestial observatory function, which could have been used to predict events like an eclipse.
Not all prehistoric art was as big as Stonehenge, though. Probably the most famous sculpture of the time is the Venus of Willendorf, named for the village Willendorf in Austria, which is near the site where it was found.
Many scholars now call it the Woman of Willendorf for multiple reasons, such as the differences between the mythological Venus and the sculpture, and that Venus came after.
The woman, or Venus, of Willendorf is thought to have been made between 25,000 and 28,000 BCE. Virtually nothing is known about the origin, creation, or significance of the structure, standing only 4 1/4 inches tall. The woman of Willendorf is made out of limestone that did not originate in or around the area it was found. This means that it either was created in another place or that the limestone was acquired through trade.
The actual sculpture is very interesting. It never had feet, and the head is covered in what might be beads or a headdress. Researchers have pointed out that the areas on the body related with fertility and childbearing are enlarged, leading some to believe that the sculpture may have been used as a fertility goddess.
Archaeologists have found many other sculptures that are similar in shape and size to the woman of Willendorf throughout Europe.
As said before, cave paintings are a well-known form of prehistoric art. The most famous set of cave paintings in the world are the Lascaux caves of France.
The caves are in southwestern France and date back to around 15,000 BCE. They are believed to be made by Cro-Magnon man. The pigments used to paint caves came from nearby materials and included red, yellow, black, brown, and violet.
There are thousands of images on the walls, mostly focusing on animals that lived during this time in history. Through abstract signs, and humans have also been identified. The caves were most likely uninhabited and were used for spiritual purposes. Some of the images show evidence of a prehistoric form of perspective, which is very advanced for the time.
Though researchers don't fully know why the paintings were made, there are several main theories.
First, some scientists believe that the paintings incorporate prehistoric star charts. Some of the figures have been known to correlate with the constellation of Taurus, the Pleiades, and the group of stars known as the Summer's Triangle.
Another theory is based on a practice of the African people of San, who draw images they see during ritualistic trance dancing. These images are a function of the human brain and are independent of geographical location. Some researchers believe that the paintings recall past hunting successes or are used in a ritual to promote success in further hunts.
The paintings show a fairly active correlation of animals' relation to habitats and relationships with other species. This could mean that the images are observations of the surrounding areas and the habits of the animals that live there.
Sadly, tourism to the site has meant increased carbon dioxide in the cave, as well as more light and changes in temperature and air circulation. These have led to problems that have forced workers to close the cave to the public multiple times. Mold is now present on the paintings, which is causing the paintings to deteriorate.
These are just a few examples of prehistoric art, but they show how diverse our culture was even before the beginning of civilization.